Hello and welcome back to Brentford Fan TV, and this is our Premier League predictions for the 25-26 season, and we'll get straight into it with our predictions of AFC Bournemouth.
So Bournemouth, they've had a lot of very clear departures this season, losing Kepa, Kirkes, Housen, and it looks like Zavani. And so I think they could, it's a very common opinion that Bournemouth could be in trouble, especially defensively. But they've still got, I think, the same midfield wingers on attack. And so they're not going to be in any trouble for relegation, in my opinion. They're too well run for that. What do you think?
Well, I think just the fact that they're having to buy a whole new defence, it'll be interesting to see how that goes for them. But it's not defence is not the easiest thing to replace in the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially in the lower end of the table as well. But I've gone with I predicted to be quite a modest 15th. I don't think they'll be in a relegation battle, but I don't think they'll do too well either.
Yeah, I've predicted them to finish 14th, and I'm already thinking that's a bit too harsh. But I'm sticking with what I've put, and I'm going to say Bournemouth to finish 14th.
Yeah.
And now, secondly, onto Arsenal. They've had a pretty good window, in my opinion.
Very good one.
They're off the back of 3 second places, and so they've had a good window that sort of has given them a lot more depth in their squad. I feel like every season, Arsenal, they've got like 11, 12, maybe 13 really good players, but this window they've really improved their depth, in my opinion.
And they've got a proper striker now.
They've got a proper striker.
So but do you think this will be enough for them to finally win that Premier League?
I think it'll be a lot closer than last season, definitely.
I think it definitely will be,
I mean, you think about, they signed Norgard from us.
Yeah.
He's such a good player. He's so pivotal for us. And so for Arsenal, if he's just a bench option, or for this, I'm going to say Zubimendi or Rice needed resting, they can just start Norgard in any Premier League game. He'll give you a 7 out of 10, no questions asked, and they'll probably win the game. So
he's an incredible player to have as a bench warmer. I think he'll get more minutes than most bench players do. But it's incredible that they're able to buy other teams' best players as squad depth.
Yeah, and so on to where we think they'll finish.
Yeah,
and I have gone with drumroll, 2nd place for Arsenal.
I've gone with the same. I think, as you said, it will be a lot closer. I think they're definitely a better side than they were last season, and I think I think it. I put 2nd, but I think I think it'll be interchangeable, really.
Yeah.
Throughout the season. Yeah, all depends on form.
Yep. And now, next on to Aston Villa. And, I mean, okay, I don't know everything about every club's transfer window, but I do believe they've had a very quiet window. I think I saw they signed someone the other day for about 30 million, but overall a pretty quiet window for Villa. But not too many losses either, and so...
I don't think they've lost really anyone.
Yeah, so I think that should put them in good stead for next season. They've got a great manager in Emery, and so I still think they'll do well.
I definitely think that they'll do better this season than they have before.
Where do you think they'll finish?
I've put them 5th. I think they're definitely... I think they... this may be the season I feel like they can establish themselves as a top 6 team in current Premier League history.
Yeah. I've put them 7th. And so, just below where they finished last season. I still think they'll have a good season. I still think Watkins will do really well. And, people like Morgan Rogers. But, I mean, you said you don't think they'll get Champions League. 5th place can still be Champions League.
Yeah, it can still be. At this current state, it's Europa League. So.
Yeah, so a 5th place can still be a good season.
Yeah.
Next up, onto the Mighty Bees in Brentford.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people... So a lot of people are saying if any promoted club were to stay up, they're saying we're the favourites to go down. And I understand where it's coming from. Losing Thomas Frank, captain, who's one of the best players, top scorer, and possibly our second top scorer as well.
Yeah.
Losing all that in one window.
Yeah, and our keeper.
Yeah. And then, some of the replacements. Well, some of the replacements haven't even been made yet. There's no Wissa replacement yet if he leaves. There's no Mbeumo replacement yet.
Yeah.
And of course, Keith Andrews with 0 experience as a manager.
Yeah. Which
becoming a Premier League manager.
Yeah, I think I am quite concerned. But also, I think it won't... Yeah, I think it's a harsh difference from Thomas Frank down to Keith Andrews. But I don't think... Yeah, I think our momentum that we had with Thomas Frank has completely gone. Mm. But I still think we'll have a decent enough finish in our first 12.
Very nice.
I think we've got a good squad and we've got some good depth now. I just think it's all about the tactics and how they work.
Yeah, I've predicted us to finish 15th, which is reasonably low down.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like never really in trouble with relegation, but sort of not really getting too far. I'll be honest, if you offer me 15th place by the end of the season and not near the relegation battle, I'd take it straight away, because I do think it's going to be a difficult season for Brentford. It's a completely new experience for our manager managing. So I'd take it straight away.
You've definitely gone with the more realistic prediction.
Maybe so.
I kind of just thought it's similar to our previous seasons. I think we got a very similar. Other than the main differences in key players going, I think. Yeah, we still got a good squad around where they've gone. So.
Exactly. Next up, Brighton and Hove Albion.
Yes.
And I don't know too much about Brighton. I'm just suddenly realising. But you know what? It's Brighton. They always seem to get everything right. They always seem to sign a million players. Yeah. Someone's going to spawn into their team, and he's going to be perfect for them.
Yeah.
I don't think they've lost too many players though this window, which is quite different to others.
They've lost João Pedro, of course.
Oh yeah.
I think he's one of their key players, but again, as you said, they're probably just. Yeah, they're probably.
I never really rated him anyway, to be honest.
Yeah. I think he's got the quality, but he's just. Yeah, as we've seen in our games against Brighton, he's a bit hot-headed.
Yes.
Very hot-headed.
Yeah, very true.
So I think his quality is good, and his quality will be missed, but the rest of his play might not be.
So, with all this in mind, I have predicted Brighton to finish 10th. Of course, they are in. No, they're not in Europe. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
I was about to say they're in Europe.
Yeah.
They're not. They came very close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 10th is a very fair prediction for Brighton.
Yeah, I've gone 11th. I think.
Yeah, same ballpark.
Yeah, very similar.
Next up is Burnley, one of our 3 promoted sides, and so it's every season it's tougher and tougher for the promoted sides, isn't it? To stay up, it feels like.
Yeah.
Ever since we stayed up, really.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm not backing them.
I am neither.
I'm just going to go straight in 20th place at Burnley.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's strange to think, because Burnley used to always be barely surviving Sean Dyche football.
Yeah.
But now I think they haven't got that same identity, and now they're more of a yo-yo club going up and down. And and their previous attempt at staying in the Premier League was. Yeah, it was an inexperienced Vincent Kompany, but I guess the football was good because he moved on to Bayern.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the players, I guess, didn't have the quality to do the same.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see. They did do very well in the Championship and instantly came back up. So. Yeah, but I just think of the 3 promoted teams, they're the worst.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because they finished top of the Championship.
Yeah.
So of the 3, you think they're the best. They had such a good defence last season. Of course, they've lost Trafford, but a lot of credit to the back line.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel it. I don't think they've had a strong enough.
Yeah.
They've had a good window, but I don't think they've had a strong enough one, especially compared to already Premier League teams and the other promoted.
Yeah.
And so moving on to Chelsea, and they're off the back of the Club World Cup win.
Yes.
Conference League, some world-class players in Parma, and then other decent signings around him.
Yeah, I think they've had a great window, and again, they finally have a team that I think looks quality all round. In previous seasons, they've had those quality players in certain areas, but it hasn't looked like the rest of the team's been that same quality. Now it sort of looks more like that.
What I do find interesting with Chelsea is sort of looking this time last year, Chelsea had made so many summer signings that they had they could, it was a bit difficult at first for the manager to say, this is my starting 11, these are the sub players, sort of to know in his head. Now a year on, they've won trophies and they've got Champions League football. He knows who his starting players are now.
Yeah, definitely.
However, they've still signed 1 million players this window. They've got 3 strikers, which, I mean, he could have an idea of which one's the best, but at the end of the day, all players need game time. All these players want to. The manager needs to keep them all happy, and so he knows a lot more about his team this time compared to last year. But there's still plenty new signings which he has to sort of get his head around.
Yeah, I think maybe they'll do what they did last season, where they had a different team for European football.
Yeah,
which I think would be a bit more difficult with the quality the Champions League has over the Conference League.
Yeah.
But they might do something similar to that, but keeping key players in both. Yeah, with the new squad that he's found, the new starting lineup, I still think they'll finish 4th. I just think there's better teams.
Yeah.
As much as they are quality now, there's 3 better teams in the Premier League.
Yep. And I've also gone with a prediction of 4th place. Moving on to Crystal Palace, off the back of an FA Cup win.
Yep.
They unfortunately got demoted from Europa League to Conference League due to politics of football.
Yeah.
But I think they'll have a decent year. But I think the only reason why they could struggle is juggling Europe and Premier League.
Yeah, that is an interesting one.
So, where have you put them?
I've put them 10th. I think they're a good side now. They have a good squad identity as well. I think they'll have a really good finish. It's just, I think Europe will limit their potential. Yeah.
And what I've gone with, where Palace finish pretty much every year, and 12th place. And so I think that's my one bang-on prediction for come the end of the season. Crystal Palace 12th. Next up, Everton.
Yes.
I think they've had a poor window. I'm pretty sure I saw an interview where Moyes said he's not been able to sign the players he's wanted, and they haven't made many signings.
No.
Of course, they recently got Shrewsbury Hall, but I don't know. I don't feel like Everton have done enough to really progress from last season.
No, I don't think they have. I think, and I don't think it'll be the best season for them for their debut new stadium. Really,
the Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've predicted them to finish 16th.
I've gone with the same thing. I think.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think they'll be in a relegation battle again, as they have in previous years. But I think they'll definitely come out on top.
Moving swiftly on to the F word in Fulham, and Fulham is really interesting. They haven't made a single transfer this summer.
Yeah.
I don't think I can't think of any players they've sold. Maybe a few players left on a free, but they've got literally the exact same squad as last year. That can go 3 ways. They could be worse, and there's not enough incomings to motivate players to with competition and stuff. They could do the exact same, considering it's the exact same squad, or they could build on it and they know each other even better and progress on to even higher in the table. How do you reckon they'll do? With all that considered?
I think they'll do slightly worse, and I've gone with 13th.
Fair enough.
I think, but I wouldn't say it's anything to change with them. I think it's just a load of teams underperformed last season, and I think those teams will get back to performing as good as they can.
I predicted them to finish 11th, and so that's exactly the same to how they did last season. Yeah. Moving on to Leeds United, newly promoted side, and I'm just going to say it straight away, 19th place for me.
Yep, same. I just think, they are a good side, of course, to get promoted to Premier League, but I just don't think they've had the best window compared to some other teams in that area. So
very true. Yeah. Moving on to Liverpool, and well, they're the champions.
Yep.
Arne Slot's going into his second year, and they've made, it seems, a lot of good signings in the window.
Yeah, and they spent like over 200 million.
And they're still in Friesach.
Yeah, but it's crazy to see.
Yeah, and so with all that considered, it's like, can they keep it up? Will they be even better? Are they going to become Centurions? Are they, are they going to be winning multiple trophies next season?
Yeah,
we don't know.
And I think the question to the answer to the first bit of that is yes. I think they will win it again.
Very nice.
I think they will.
Well, this is quite boring because I've also said they're going to win the league. But yeah.
But it's just they already were the best team in the league.
Yeah.
And then all the investments they brought in this season, I don't think it's up for debate really.
I mean, they've got both Kirkes and Robertson as options at left back.
Yeah.
There's Frimpong on the right. There's Bradley on the right. There's so much depth everywhere now.
Yeah.
And then I think Premier League record now in Florian Wirtz.
Yes. Yeah.
It speaks for itself.
I just think him in their already great midfield will just. I don't think any other team they play against will be able to control the game.
Well, there might be one other team, and that is Manchester City.
Yeah.
Moving on, and now, but they did all their business early in the window. I think they didn't even win anything last year, actually, which is the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Probably like the first time in 10 years for Man City. Not exaggerating, it probably is. And so, but no, they made a lot of good signings, especially at the start of the window. But all that being said, I just think they're going to finish third. I just have this feeling that Pep Guardiola hasn't got that motivation weirdly anymore. That's just a feeling I have. What about you?
I've gone with the same, but just a different reason. And I think it'll be very close between them, Arsenal, and Liverpool. But I just think, with the current players they've got and the current form from last season of their current players, it's just, I don't see them doing. I don't see them doing the best they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Haaland doing the same as he did a few seasons ago, especially without De Bruyne.
Massive loss.
Yeah. He hasn't had that same clinical strikes as he has before.
I mean, of course, Man City are losing De Bruyne, but Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal all investing so well.
Yes.
It does get me excited for like a really good title race next season.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great one coming up.
Now, moving on to Manchester United, who have signed Ryan Mbeumo from us, of course.
They've also signed Cunha and even signing Sesko, so they've reinvented their whole attack.
Which is what they needed, because, I mean, you think of their players up front last season, it was absolutely woeful. And so, I think, there's still a lot of problems at Man United.
Yeah.
I'm also just not convinced by Ruben Amorim as a manager. That's just my opinion, but
I just think, although it was a big issue, their lack of scoring, I think it was stats wise it was their biggest issue. I just think there's a lot more issues at the club.
Yeah.
And a whole new attack I don't think it's going to change much.
Yeah. But it's going to make it better, right?
Yeah, it will make it better. I just they're not going to be the same Man United they were in their prime.
Yeah.
Which I don't think anyone's expecting.
No one's expecting that. Well, my prediction for Man United is 8th place, and I think that's pretty good compared to 15th place last year. But obviously, it's not Europe, which is probably the aim for them.
Yeah, I've gone with 8th as well. I just think they've made improvements, but is it enough to get them back in the top 6, back in Europe, and I just don't think it is.
Yeah. Next team in 9 is Newcastle United, aka Rejection FC.
Yeah, they've been rejected by a lot of players this window.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then again, so they've signed Elanga. They are probably going to lose Isak. Hasn't happened yet, of course.
Yeah.
But they haven't really lost anyone. So I'm thinking they can still have a really good season. There's no reason why they can't.
Yeah.
And so I want to go in with my prediction, and I'm saying 5th, which is probably quite high.
Ooh, that is a very high prediction. I've gone quite different. I've gone with 9th. Their form has dipped a lot in previous seasons, and I think they'll just do the same again.
Fair enough.
But it'll be a significant difference this time.
Next on to Nottingham Forest. It's interesting because they're in Europe, so that could affect Premier League form. But they've only really lost Elanga.
Yeah, that's it.
And so I think they can still have a really good season. Of course, no one's expecting them to be as good as they were last season. They were 3rd for so long. Of course, they did then in the end drop down to 6th. But I think, I don't know, it's probably a difficult one to predict, but I've said they're going to finish in 9th place.
Okay. Because I think with the exact same defence, the exact same midfield, relatively same attack, and still with Nuno Espirito Santo as manager, I just think they'll have a good season again, and I think they'll finish 7th as well.
It's pretty decent, to be fair.
I think they'll get European football again. It's just, not Europa League.
Well, they're in the conference anyway.
Yeah, they're in the conference.
Oh, wait.
No, they're in Europa League now, because they took Palace's spot.
Yes. But I think...
I think they'll finish 7th again.
So still another good season, I reckon.
A great season for them. And I think...
Just hopefully they don't win game week 1 against us.
Yeah, but I think for them, further along the line, they could be even higher. It's just if they continue with the momentum they've got.
Definitely. Next up, Sunderland. And, I think, they're on, about £130 million spent now this window?
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
It is a lot.
They're even getting players in like Xhaka, which is great. Great. Just a great player to have. He was at Arsenal. Yeah. He was captain for a period at Arsenal. He went off to Germany, won the league, came back. Yeah. Going to Sunderland.
So one of the key players in that Leverkusen squad. So.
Yeah. So I think out of all the teams promoted, Sunderland definitely have the best chance of staying up.
Yeah,
however, I'm saying they're going to finish 18th. What about you?
I've gone with the same, I just think it... Yeah, despite all that they've invested, I just think the gap recently has been much bigger between the Championship and the Premier League. And it's literally all because the Premier League has just got more competitive all round. Yep. Every team in the Premier League that has been there for the past 3-4 seasons has improved. And I just think it's rather difficult for teams to stay up.
Yeah. I mean, we were one of the last teams to have done it, I reckon.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I think that, there's only a few...
Us and then maybe Fulham and Forest the year after us.
Yeah.
And then that might be it.
Moving on to Tottenham Hotspur. A very interesting one this time. Because last season they had a terrible season, finishing 17th. Mm-hmm. Will a new manager and a load of investments help them? And I think they will help them a lot.
Yeah. Of course, they have Thomas Frank from us.
Yeah.
And so I want Thomas Frank to do well.
Yeah.
Not so much Tottenham, but I'm sure he'll improve from 18th place. But of course, he's in the Champions League with them, which will be massive for them. Yeah. But I predicted Tottenham to finish 6th.
Same here.
I know. So I think that'll be a very good season for them. Next up, West Ham United. And I'm actually not too sure about West Ham United and their activity in the window.
Yeah.
But I think a reason why they could do well is because last summer they made so many signings that didn't really do too well. But I think there's a lot of them might step up now, especially the younger ones. They might be more suited to the Premier League now. And so I've predicted them to finish 13th. What about you?
I've gone 14th. I think, they're not really gone and done too much in the window. They've sold Kudus to Tottenham, and I think that money can be reinvested. So yeah, they can still do well. But I think 14th is a fair spot, considering the form and their manager. I don't know if Graham Potter's the best manager. He's a good manager, but I don't think he's making an improvement on West Ham.
Yeah. And finally, on to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And, definite gaps in their team after losing like Norrie, after losing Cunha. And so I think they'll definitely struggle. They're going to maybe be heavily relying on players like Strand Larsen and players who are, there from last season. But I think it'll definitely be a struggle for them.
Yeah.
And so I'm predicting them to finish as low as 17th.
Same here with me. I think they'll struggle like last season, and they'll be in another relegation battle. But again, the 3 promoted teams just aren't good enough, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that brings us to the end of this quite lengthy prediction video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Feel free to comment your predictions. And we'll see you at the start of the season.
Yes.